It's not your first time here. Jason Hook, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, it's fancy in here.
Yeah, look at this, man.
It's all new.
New boards, new monitors, new mics. They just, these light up now, but for some reason, my brain ignores them now, which is great, because I was worried about that. I was like, I'm not going to be staring at a light. Anyway,
that's great.
Yeah, but it's cool, man. I'm glad you're back. It's not your first time here. You played in our lobby.
Yeah, no, I haven't been here in a very long time, so yeah. It's a pleasure to be back.
So we have Jason Hook in the studio, as most of us might know him from the band Five Finger Death Punch. Thank you for that. Now, you've got something new in your life.
Yeah.
Called Flat Black.
The new band.
So you've been unemployed in a sense for a minute.
It's been 4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I split from that band, we departed ways back in 2020.
Right.
And I've been working on this new band ever since.
So I've seen a lot of things where you've jumped on with the other producers and artists and bands or whatever. You add your little, whatever. I had Jason Hook on this track, you know.
Well, so. I didn't know what I was going to do actually. I took a little time off, and then I started working with other artists. I produced a couple tracks with Bad Wolves and Dorothy, the female singer.
Right.
And then I realized, you know what, my heart really lies in being on stage and being in a band.
Sure.
So I thought I better start to put a band together.
Well, that's kind of the way I was going to bring it up, because your former band, I don't think you could have reached a higher pinnacle.
No,
I mean, you conquered the entire world, and you saw everything from the top. Like,
yes.
You couldn't have done any better with yourself. You know what I mean? With your band and where you went.
It is hard to reach those levels of success. I will admit that.
There's not very many.
It was all brand new for all of us, and we all went through it together, and it was a really exciting time and a really good experience. I don't know what to say other than that.
Right.
Other than it was something that you always fantasize about as a kid, and to actually pierce some of those upper levels. It's not something I can actually describe in words, but it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I got to think that somewhere in your brain you're still processing it. Like, what the hell just happened?
The whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a thing. And like, you got your Metallicas, Aerosmith. They just retired officially about 20 minutes ago.
So I know, so sad.
But bands like Zeppelin, Metallica, Death Punch. There's just a handful of bands that have reached that outside of the stratosphere, and it's just you were part of it. You got to be very proud of yourself. I mean, is that what you dreamed of when you were 6, 7, 8 years old when you started messing around with the guitar?
Of course.
Like, I want to be the biggest rock star in the world. Everybody does, right?
Every kid with an instrument wants to be able to headline arenas and travel the world and all that stuff, and also to sell records. I mean, that's a challenge in itself.
Of course.
I mean, to make art is one thing, but you want your art to be heard and loved by the masses. I think in a perfect world, nobody says, I can't wait to play the Jack Sugar Shack.
Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, man. Well, and a lot of people will use the word sellout. And I'm like, the only reason that your favorite band hasn't sold out is because they haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah. I don't.
So it's not as bad of a word as some people try to make it sound. Of course, you're in this to make money. It's my job.
Well, I think that also, too, you're making art that moves you emotionally. As an artist, you're making art that moves you emotionally, and you would hope that the same feeling or the message would be received by the majority,
of course,
of the listening public. It's art. It's meant to be shared, and it's meant to deliver a feeling. And and in a perfect world, you want as many people to feel the same way as you do. It's not a bad word. People think like, you have hits, you're not cool.
Yeah.
Hit isn't a bad word. It just means that a lot of people got the same message.
Right. Everybody tries to do that on purpose every time they write a song, but it doesn't happen. Now, when it does happen, was that you, or was that serendipity, or was that luck, or was that timing? It could be everything.
It could. I mean, it's not something you can control.
Right.
But I've spent my whole life as a fan.
Sure.
I'm a fan of music.
Right.
And I like big songs that move me.
Yeah.
So when you're studying those types of songs, it's only natural that you will incorporate the same sort of things into your own music.
Right. That makes sense. We're talking with Jason Hook, by the way, of the band Flat Black. And we'll get into that more of them. I got a new song, by the way. We're going to do that. But I wanted to ask you earlier a couple of quick zinger questions. What was the first piece of music you ever bought with your own money, like album or cassette?
Well, this is going to be
We're about the same age, so it's probably cassette.
Right. This will be a little embarrassing for me, but I'm going to lay it out here anyway.
All right.
The first record I owned was a Sean Cassidy.
Oh, no.
Born Late.
Well, it's been fun having you down here. Wow, dude, really?
Yeah. And people are like, most people won't even know what that is. But
Right.
if you look it up, I mean, we're going way back, and it was kind of like
Sweet head of hair.
it was that in the Grease soundtrack.
Yeah?
Right. Yeah.
First one I ever bought, Cinderella Night Songs.
Wow. Are you sure we're the same age?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm almost 50.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, I said, yeah. I will go all the way back to Sinatra.
Yeah, back there was this two guys in a cave hitting a piece of wood. So now, what was the first concert you ever attended as a lad?
That's easy. That was Rush on the Signals tour. I'm from Canada.
Right, yeah.
So
I was going to make a joke earlier, and I let it go. And you brought it up.
Rush, back in Toronto, 1982, the Signals tour at Maple Leaf Gardens. And the opener was a band called the Payolas, which featured Bob Rock on the guitar.
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I am a little younger than you. Motley Crue, Girls, Girls, Girls tour. That was my first.
Okay.
I was
wow.
12.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I bought a bunch of tickets for that show for all my friends in school. And we took the train downtown Toronto to go to the thing. I left the tickets on my bed.
Oh, no, man.
I called home. I said, Dad, can you go to my bedroom and see if the tickets are sitting there on my bed? And he's like, yep, they're right here in an envelope. I'm like, I just screwed it up for everyone, including myself. So we listened to the concert from the street through the wall.
No, that's not cool, man. That's awesome, dude. So tell me, let's talk more about Flat Black now. That's why you're here. Jason Hook from Flat Black. Are you just guitars?
Just guitars.
Just now, tell me about the rest of everybody knows you. Tell me about the rest of the guys in your band.
It's a 4-piece band. Just Rex Horton on lead vocals, Rob Pierce on drums, and Nicholas Diltz on bass.
Okay.
Relatively unknown guys, which was deliberate. I wanted to find young, hungry, and enthusiastic musicians that were prepared to roll their sleeves up and do the work.
Right.
And it took the time to find players that were, on the edge of lethal.
Yeah, sure.
So, because this is kind of like the last band I'll put together. You
think?
I think so. You know, I wanted to. Yeah, I love these guys, and they're fun to play with, and I think we made a good record. That was the intention. I didn't want to put something together, work really hard on it with the intention of maybe changing, like doing another one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, what are your expectations? Do you have any with this new band?
I believe that it's important to keep your expectations at a reasonable level.
Right.
If you place your expectations too high, there's a good chance you might fall short and therefore be disappointed. So I don't have any expectations. My only desire from this was to just be happy.
Right.
And do something that I'm proud of. And that's already been met. So everything from this point forward is all gravy.
Right. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new song here from your new band, Flat Black. It's called A Bit of Lightning. You want to tell me a little bit about the track before you play it?
Sure. This song was written during the pandemic.
Okay.
A lot of my friends, fellow musicians, road crew, techs, everyone was in big trouble back then. Mm-hmm. There was no work. Even like Live Nation was shut down. I mean, the whole thing was a catastrophe. Yeah. And so the lyric of the song really is centered around, I could use a bit of lightning to get me through the dark. It's just that whole thing like asking for help.
Okay.
And hoping that this whole catastrophe time period was going to come to an end.
So holding on to hope.
That's it. A bit of lightning.
All right. A Bit of Lightning, brand new from Flat Black, featuring Jason Hook right here on KOMP 92.3, the Rock Station.